been a little while since I've talked about sort of recent fashion obsessions that I've been squirreling them away in my little brain, so I would love to talk about that with you today. If you don't know me, hello, my name is Maudlin. I'm a mad scientist of fashion, or so they say. I do really like to put together all sorts of strange little aesthetics and fashion statements, outfits, costumes, all that sort of stuff. That is just my bread and butter. That's what I like to do. It's a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's an addiction, it's a disgusting, freaky porn fetish. I don't know, but it's really fun, and this is what I do. Is just ruminate on things I consider to be beautiful that I can also wear on my body. That's what I do. That's what I love. So I'm going to go into some fashion obsessions of late. I will get the one that is most obviously not technically fashion out of the way first. That would be the Discotheque Perfumery Discovery set. Has been, like dangled in front of me by the algorithm a couple of times, and I've just been, so chaste and so healthy and so normal, and sober from purchasing things, but that was a really rough temptation that I saw. Just the name Discotheque Perfume, that just sounds like fun. I like disco, I like perfume. It seems like a French nonsense company, so, I'm always all in on perfume discovery sets. That's like one of the things I do on here sometimes is do little sniff tests, but look, I've got a whole imaginary authors thing that I got for free in a trade, so I will just have to sate my perfume discovery craving with this fantastic little brick of imaginary authors scents. But come on, tell me that a discotheque perfume experience doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. The next thing that I've been thinking about a lot is these Branco reproduction tees. They have a lot of different reproduction t-shirts of different movie t-shirts, but also gay and lesbian bars in different cities all over America. It's just like a load of fun. If you can't tell, I'm a t-shirt person. I love a good graphic tee, and especially one that's steeped in queer history. I love that. These t-shirts just scream fun and fancy-free to me, and I'm just perched like a vulture in their shopping cart for that illustrious payday. So shout out to Branco tees, love that. I recently watched the film Bubble Bath 1979. This is a Hungarian animated film that's kind of like a psychedelic disco opera. You heard that. Those were all the combination of words that I just said, and it's all true. It's just one of the most incredible things I've seen of late. I've never really seen anything quite like it. Here are some screenshots to show you the depravity, the madness. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings and wonderful ruminations about this particular movie that I could do a whole video on, but I won't. It's just sort of the fashion and the makeup of this sort of cosmopolitan and Soviet at the same time sort of Hungarian production. It's just a delight. It's just a wonderful, delightfully, visually stimulating movie in more ways than one, and the makeup of the characters has kind of been stuck in my head. These delightful lashes on the tops and bottoms are right up my alley. Just love it. I'm just really considering doing makeup looks exclusively inspired by characters from this film, so that's been on my mind a lot lately, is just this wonderful, visually stimulating movie. I have also been sort of keeping my eye on these shoes from Tuck Footwear, TUK. I don't know how to really pronounce it, but the hot pinkness of them and the Mary Jane-ness of them means that they are meant for me in some way or another. So I do hope one day we will meet again, and it'll be a beautiful reunion. That's happening for the first time, so I love these shoes. What can I say? If you can't tell, I do have a mild stomach flu. So I have a fever. I'm running a fever right now. in cold sweats, moist, sweaty. Like, yes, I'm obviously a pervert who loves clothing to the point of, like, sweat on my forehead, but it's not really, it's mostly flu. It's mostly the flu. My electrolytes are so imbalanced. It'll be okay. Next, I've been thinking nonstop about this mug. I saw this on an eBay mug account of a Twitter account that posts eBay mugs. This mug of, like, okay. I've also been thinking a lot about these sort of like big bobby pins that you can get, and you know, my hair is at the perfect length to wrap around these big bobby pins and flat iron them to do like a classic disco crimp. So I'm really all about the disco right now. I don't know what that's about, but something about the summer just screams disco to me. So I do really have been thinking about these big, wonderful hairstyles that you can do. And speaking of that, I do also kind of have this long-standing obsession with Carol Kane and her hair and the gorgeous, beautiful locks that grow out of her head. I love her hair. It's so big. It's so beautiful. And I just love big hair. I love curls. My natural hair is about a 1C on the curliness scale. So of course I love what I can't have, and I've just been sort of obsessed with making my hair Carol Kane level poofy floofy. Typically I accomplish this with this wavy talk crimp thingy. It's like a flat iron, but it crimps your hair in a wave, and then I just spritz the crap out of it with Color Wow texturizing spray and my trusty teasing comb, and just get it all kinds of out, and it's awesome. I have been obsessed with graphic pins, specifically reproduction, but also vintage ones. I have a huge pin collection, but I do like to wear my pins out and about, so I do kind of feel like the vintage ones should be for like indoor special occasions, and if I'm like on the go or like have a pin on my bag, it should be a reproduction or like something that I can get again on Etsy if it falls off. If it's not apparent by now, I'm a stuff person. I get very attached to my things. I'm a very material person. I like stuff. I'm a stuff person. I just like... I like the tangible. I like baubles and trinkets, and I'm just a crow sort of person who, if like my beautiful, wonderful little pin on my bag that says "Dip me in honey and throw me to the lesbians," if that falls off, now I don't have a "Dip me in honey and throw me to the lesbians" pin, and that makes me sad. You know what I mean? So that pin had better be a reproduction. Can't be vintage. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've just been really looking at these wonderful graphic pins on Pinterest. Haha. Funnily enough, they're fantastic, and they kind of keep me awake at night because they're just so fantastic. And I can guarantee you that a pin this good would be like exorbitantly expensive. I love a good graphic pin. Recently, I don't know what it is, I've also been sort of fixated on this idea of like a long late 70s, early 80s bowl cut bob with the sort of like bangs bumped under. I'll show you an example picture. I don't know what it is, but like something about that is just so unchic that it circles all the way back to chic again. And I think with dark hair it would almost read as like a Joey Ramone kind of a thing. So you could even be a little androgynous with it maybe. And so I just love the idea of this like dome of hair on one's head. Don't know why, but that has just sort of been a fixation of mine. I came across this pin of Fluvog loafer boots on Pinterest, and I almost lost my mind. I mean, I almost wept. I mean, it was just so they're just so beautiful. I probably will never have a John Fluvog shoe on my feet, you know, for the rest of my life. I mean, it's just a pipe dream at this point, but just damn. So good. Yum. Similarly, I'm already kind of thinking forward to fall and thinking about 70s boots, that sort of 70s boots, that sort of echo Victorian boots, because the 70s did a really fun Victorian revival sort of thing. And I think we could get a Victorian revival again, like, let's just revive everything. Let's just get a revival echo chamber going. Another thing I've been thinking about a lot is grotesque kitschiness. Kitschiness that is sort of body horror or kind of disturbing in some way, like these Cabbage Patch doll earmuffs. I mean, there's just something uncomfortable about that. So it's like the cotton candy fluff of kitsch with like a disturbing sort of energy surrounding it. So I have been really liking that. I don't know what that fixation is, or where it's going to lead, but it is something I've been thinking about a lot. It's just like kitsch that's also like, ew, you know? I have really been enjoying the paintings of Paul Lorenzi as well. Something about these big, busted, beautiful ladies in this like jewel-toned caramel landscape. I just love these paintings by Paul Lorenzi. Any sort of effort to emulate a Paul Lorenzi babe would be amazing, of course. And last on my list is keychain lots on eBay. I've been sort of like just having my eye on various keychains, keychain lots, just big tubs of keychains that someone could send to me theoretically in order to make earrings. I've sort of been toying around with the idea of reopening an Etsy for myself and for my jewelry making and that sort of thing. Who knows if it'll ever work out, but it is something I'm thinking about. I have a lot of these sort of ideas that go nowhere, but I do feel like sharing them does help me think about them and sort of put them into a three-dimensional space instead of like, you know, two-dimensional or quadridimensional in my head. I hope this was a coherent-ish enough video for you to follow along. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments or concerns, please shout them out in the comments section. Love to hear from you always. I hopefully will be feeling better tomorrow. Like, this is just like a very weird 2-day stomach bug that's been going on with me. But hopefully my moistness and my temperature wasn't getting in the way of me making sense. I really don't know. I guess we'll find out in the editing booth how that was going. But I really would love to hear about your recent fashion obsessions as well. And until next time,